Welcome to Digital 100. I'm your host, Patrick Wagner, and this is episode number 4, How Hackers Target You Online. And today we're going to help lock down your accounts both online and offline. This is really important because hacking is becoming one of those things that is something you can't avoid. Eventually, everyone is going to have an account hacked in some way, or a company in where they have their information will get hacked, and that will cause you some problems. So the reality is you need to keep this on your radar. And at this point, having a digital presence or a business with data online in any way, or any kind of financial security or crypto information, you definitely want to up all your security. So we're going to go over that today in this presentation. So let's get started, everyone. Oh, first I wanted to show everybody my awesome shirt. Finally got it. My Bitcoin Magic Internet Money t-shirt. Wearing it today to encourage our Bitcoin. Let's get started. How hackers target you online. Let's lock down your accounts. So, what are hackers targeting? Now, this is a big one because everyone tries to figure out what they should secure, but they don't really think about the reverse side, which is what are hackers looking for and how do we lock those things up first? Because hackers in general are looking for the easiest point of entry, just like a robber or a thief trying to break into your apartment or house are trying to look for the easiest opportunity, not the hardest one with video cameras and a security system. They're looking for the one that the door is open, and the same goes for your digital presence. So I'm going to go over some of these points here, and the first one is your internet access. So that's your internet provider as well as your router and Wi-Fi security. Next is your telephone number. So that's your phone provider, whoever provides your cell phone. Next is your email and your email provider. After that, they're going to go after your Google and your Apple account access. And then these last ones are going to go after your computer or smartphone device itself, trying to have you download an app or click on some clickbait and upload a virus in some way. And the last one is account access. So your social media, e-commerce sites, and trying to break into those accounts. And that's kind of the order of importance, I'd say, probably for us to look at. I think hackers are probably targeting email and Google and Apple accounts the most, and then telephone. But all of these are your top of the list priorities. Next, how do they hack my account? So again, the number one goal is for a hacker is to gain control of your email address and then gain control of your phone number. Those, once they have those, they pretty much own you and can control everything and drain your accounts. So step one is NAP, or your name, address, phone number. And this is something that's pretty much out there. So you have to be careful. The reality is the first thing a hacker is going to do is try to get your full name and the email address that you use most frequently, or the one that's hooked up to your Apple or Google account. Step two, they're going to try to get your phone number. So by getting your phone number, they're going to be able to find the provider. And then once they know your provider, they can start playing some games. Going back to step one, sorry, I just wanted to add the point that anybody who wants to be ultra secure will eventually have a separate email address and a separate telephone number that will separate from everything else. So that way any of your business account information does not go back to an email address or phone number that people would ever be able to find out. So let's jump back to, they're going to try to get your phone number. Once they have your phone number, they're going to know what provider you're with. And then this is the security issue with telephones, is they're going to try to port over your phone number. And what that actually means is similar to switching your phone from one device to another. And it's as easy as going to a cell phone provider and saying, oops, I'm Patrick Wagner. I lost my cell phone. I'd love to buy whatever phone I can get right now to get my account back online. Here's my name and information. Here's my phone number, and here's some cash. And what they're going to try to do is get someone to port your phone onto a new device, which allows that phone to be pretty much reinstalled and backed up with that number. And then you end up getting everyone's SMS numbers and even some of their apps. So that's a very big one, is the telephone number. So where you're putting your telephone number and how freely available that number is on all your accounts is very important. As a high security measure, I recommend for some people, again, to have a separate telephone number that they don't use anywhere else and that no one can gain that access. Step 3, gain access to your main email account. Your main email account will allow a hacker to access your Google and Apple accounts, and you can then reset passwords for most of your accounts as those requests end back at your main email address. It'll also help you to attempt to get access to your telephone, because you can probably log into your provider online and get access and then start working your way through there. Step 4 is physical access, which is rare but very possible. So internet access at your house, the router security and access, and then the last one on that list would be a physical device. And simply adding a physical device to your network is usually very undetected and can give you full access to that network as well as the router and additional information. Step 5 is phishing via email, clickbait via websites, and third-party apps that include Trojan viruses. So this is kind of what hackers are doing and what they're trying to target, and it's important to know that. So it's time to lock down your important accounts online and offline. So it's time to call and upgrade your security on your cell phone provider, your bank account, your Apple and Google account, your email provider, your internet access provider, and your router. So make sure you do this. Your PIN code. Make sure this PIN code that you have is unique. Do not use the same PIN code for your cell phone provider and your bank accounts. It's one of those tricks where a hacker usually gets your email address, a password, and then a PIN code, and then all of a sudden they can pretty much access all of your information. So when you have any accounts that require a PIN code, make sure that PIN code is separate, and make sure you write that down in your password logbook. Next, security questions. You always have the option of adding additional security questions or making sure you change the security questions so they're not obvious answers. If everyone knows your dog's name is Blaze, do not answer the question, do you have a dog? Or what's your dog's name? Blaze. Don't do that. Try to actually make answers that are difficult or actually don't make any sense at all, because no one would be able to guess them. Write those additional security answers down in your password logbook and keep those safe. Also, you can ask for a note to be added to your account. So your customer security rep would be able to add a note to the account that says, hey, anytime someone's calling in regards to this account, please have all the red alerts on and make sure you ask extra questions. So my cell phone provider, as an example, allows me to put a PIN code, which I've done. They've also, after speaking to them, they've told me that you can make a much longer PIN code. So most people say 4 digits, but they actually allow more, and they don't really tell that, but that's a great possibility of having a different PIN code, making it much harder for someone to guess. Next thing is those security questions. You can ask and have the standard ones, but you can also ask and have custom ones made. So you can make stuff that's totally impossible for someone to guess, like how many sticks do you put in a fire? 0. You know what I mean? Like stuff that no one's going to guess, and you can add those additional security questions and force those to be asked. So my cell phone provider will ask the individual who tries to access my account for a PIN code. Without that PIN code, you're not going to get any access. Second level questions, there's about 4 to 6 of them. And again, very difficult, if not impossible to get. Those are all required to make any kind of request or access to the account. And that's something that you should do on all of these main accounts. I would also take the time to speak to the individual that you're calling and ask for any additional security measures that either they provide or issues that they've encountered that you could learn from. And they're very open once they realize that you're not actually trying to hack this account, that this is your account, but you're trying to add these additional security measures. They're usually quite open to telling you, oh, you know what, you can also add these additional questions, or let me put a note on your account so it ensures anyone looking at it automatically has the highest level security to no matter who's calling. So those types of things, have that conversation. It will really make a big difference, and you might get some extra advantages on the security side. Next, know your weak points. Your PIN code, make sure it's unique on every single account. Do not use the same one and match it to your bank card. Next, phone porting. Make sure you understand your telephone company's procedures in how they deal with someone being able to port your phone over to a new device, and any additional security. Email. This is a big one. I can't stress enough how important it is to lock down your email. Now, a lot of the big providers do provide a lot of additional security features, and for Google, I think they provide a lot of additional security on top of just adding your username, a password, a backup email account, and then you can add the 2FA login to that to make it extra secure. But you want to do everything you can. So go to your email provider and figure out all the additional security measures you can do and install those for your email account. I can't stress that enough. Go out there and max out your security on your email account as much as it is possible, because once they have that between your email address and your phone, those are the gold, and you need to hide them and protect them as much as possible. From that, people are going to try to access your Google and your Apple accounts, because once they have access to those, they can control what apps are being downloaded, access to those accounts, credits, purchasing apps, purchasing gift cards, all of those type of things that can happen once they have access to your Google and Apple accounts, including payment information. So those are also to be very protected, and make sure you can take advantage of any security additional procedures or measures that Google and Apple provide. So to go over this and wrap it up, number 1, internet access provider. Update your passwords, secondary questions, and add a note to your account. For your router, upgrade your router password, secure your Wi-Fi, close your devices by MAC ID, and then add a VPN. This is something that I'll actually talk about the VPN and the router stuff in another episode, because I think your internet access and router security is extremely important, including how you access the internet through a VPN. So number 2 is your cell phone provider. Again, update your password, secondary questions, add a note to your account, ensure there's no porting for phones possible. Number 3, email account provider. Check and add all security upgrade procedures available. Update your password, your secondary questions, add notes to your account. Number 4, your Google and Apple account. Update your password, add secondary questions, and turn on your 2FA security. Also, find out what else you can do to secure your Google and Apple accounts. There is always additional security measures they provide. I would take advantage of all of them. Last but not least, your other accounts like social media and other accounts in general. Update all your passwords, keep them unique, use 2FA, and document everything in your password logbook, and keep it safe in a safe that's waterproof and fireproof. And that's it. Next episode, we're going to talk about the logic behind separating your personal and business devices. So I know I deal with a lot of people who want to use a single device for everything, and I really see the immense security value in separating your business and personal, and also separating your crypto and financial, and also having a backup device. So we're going to go over that in the next episode. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a great day.